Hey, what is up, everybody? Nothing at Random coming at you with another video. It is a chilly, scratch that. It is a cold day. It is like 31, 32 degrees right now in Central Ohio. And yeah, I'm bundled up out riding because I'm on my way to meet up with a couple of friends to go riding today. And then there's something special in store at Farrow Harley-Davidson tomorrow that I am intending on going to. So today is going to be kind of a test run to see if I'm going to be wearing too much or too little gear. And I've not been on the road too long before I turn on the camera, but I'm already getting a lot of looks. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of looks already. Like, come on, people, have you never seen somebody ride a motorcycle in the cold before? But based on the reactions I'm already getting and seeing, I'm gonna guess they're not used to it, or they just don't expect it. But I am layered up like the Michelin Man, which might be to my detriment. I want to try to keep myself as warm as I can, because tomorrow is going to be even colder than today. Tomorrow is going to be in like the mid-20s, low to mid-20s in the morning, and a high of like 30, 32. Today has a high of like 38. But it's also pretty damn windy. So yeah, we're just out here. It's, like I said, it's like 31, 32 degrees Fahrenheit here in Central Ohio, but the sun is shining. It is beautiful despite being cold. And yesterday I put up a post, or not a post, but in my Instagram story I asked if any of the Central Ohio riders wanted to meet up and ride today. And I had Jess, her two wheels, reach out to me and tell me about the Farrow event tomorrow. And then I had a couple of friends that I've met at several events here. I don't know if they want their names out on YouTube or not, so I'm going to refrain for the moment. But they're like, yeah, we're good to meet up. You know, where do you want to go? Where do you want to meet up? Where do you want to ride? And I said, I don't know. I've never organized something before. So we decided to meet up at 2 o'clock. This is not 2 o'clock. I just haven't changed the time yet. It's actually 1:13 and not 2. It's 1:13. But yeah, so we decided to meet at Farrow North, and that's where we're going. But you know, what do you guys do in the winter? Do you stop riding? Do you put the bikes up and call it good, winterize them and let them sit? Or do you bundle up like the Michelin Man to the point of once you're in your riding position, you don't really move, and then you just go? I'm trying to figure out if I'm insane, or, you know, if everyone is as addicted to riding as I am. Because I'm kind of hoping it's that one. I kind of hope I'm, you know, not the insane one here. But I can tell you that so far, I'm about 15 minutes or so into this ride, and I need to do something about my neck. I can already feel it kind of getting cold and numb in places. Everything else is pretty good so far. Hands, arms, legs, everything's pretty warm so far, but my neck is definitely getting cold. So if any of you guys follow me on Instagram at all, which if you're watching the videos, I would hope you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen where earlier this week there was a little bit of a banter going on back and forth between myself and Philzilla, and then Colleen joined in, and then at a later point Trucker Paul even joined into it, and I got a couple messages from other people who were like, really, you guys had to do this? And I'm like, listen, it was great. But I made a video because it was already snowing in, you know, early mid-November up here in Ohio, which it hasn't done that in years that I can remember. It's been a long time since it's snowed this early in November. And it didn't just snow, it snowed and actually stuck in some places. Some people's yards had a nice dusting of snow. And it's just, you know, that was just, it's like I said, it's been years since I can remember it happening like that up here. So I made a little short and put it up on my story about how there's already snow, and I was kind of over it. Because I had just gotten back from, you know, from Florida for the Forgotten Angels camp out at the end of October to turn around and have snow. And Phil, being the impeccable character of a guy that he is, made a reel and put it up, and he was talking about how his friends and people he were seeing were posting and talking about the cold and the snow, and it was in the low 70s and sunny where he's at, and he was going to go out on a ride for them, and then he tagged me in it, and that's what started the banter. And then, you know, it's all in good fun, but at the same time, you know what you did. You know exactly what you did. I'm gonna be honest, shifting right now is kind of hard. I think I got too many layers on. So I've been on the road for a little bit now, and it is pretty sunny. I do have the sun mostly behind me, kind of over my left shoulder. So I'm fortunately not looking in directly toward it right now. But I still tried to use my my shaded visor inside my helmet, but every time I put it down it fogs up, and it just can't get it to stay clear. And I've tried wearing sunglasses inside this helmet when it was cold like this. Well, not even this cold, but when it was cold, and they fogged up and they didn't clear out either. So I think I'm just gonna have to deal with kind of squinting a little bit. But you know, man, even a bad day of riding is better than a good day with no riding. So a question I have, as not just a new person creating content on YouTube, but also as a rider that is now getting into going to rallies, bike shows, bike nights, and other events. If you guys are anywhere in Ohio, near Ohio, and know of an event that I don't, you know, just reach out to me and let me know, because I've really started to enjoy the crowds and the people that I've gotten to meet at these events, and it's made my riding experience a lot better, and I want to, you know, farther that even more. And apparently going whatever I was going in a 55 is not fast enough for that guy. Like camping out the quarry, I heard about that through Whiskey Chaser, one of his videos, and that was probably the highlight of my summer, at least with riding. And then both Forgotten Angels campouts are the highlight of my spring and fall. I doubt I'll have a motorcycle highlight for winter, unless something really outrageous happens. My thing is, you know, I want my YouTube channel, I don't really care whether it grows or not, but I want to use it and utilize it to document my life on two wheels, and probably a little more than just that, but to also use to connect and reach out with this massive community of riders that I am completely enamored with right now. You know, I've gotten to meet some of the coolest people and have some of the most interesting conversations this year at bike events. You know, it's so easy to talk to another biker, another motorcyclist, and get their story, and it's I find it super entertaining, and I enjoy it. So I mean, I don't know how else to put it, and then I've kind of grown out of my comfort zone to the point of I actually enjoy talking with other people, hearing their stories, and getting to know like their choices, where they came from, and all of that. It's compared to how I was at the beginning of this year, at the very beginning of 2022. I've changed quite a lot, and I attribute that not to me at riding, not to me as a rider and the motorcycle did it, but the community of riders that I have gotten to meet and interact with has caused me to grow as a person, which, you know, it sounds, to me, it sounds bonkers to even think like that, but that is my truth. It is the community of riders that has gotten me to, you know, really break out of my shell and grow as a person. And I'm overstatic about it. Like, I'm beyond happy to not only, you know, admit it, but also tell that my small story to other people. It, you know, me a year ago, me 2 years ago to now would be, in my eyes, a night and day difference. You know, like I'm rambling, but writing changed my life for the better. So if you're somebody who isn't writing and you're thinking about it, take the first time writer's course. You get a little bit of a feel for what it's like. Go buy yourself a cheap used bike that works, because you are going to drop it. You might even go down and wreck, or, you know, you're gonna have some issues. It's gonna get bumped up, dinged up, scratched up, and it's better you do that on a bike that already has a depreciated value than to go get a brand new bike and go through the same thing. Because when it's a brand new bike and it gets that first scratch in the paint, that first ding in the tank, whatever happens, you're going to be even madder than if it were just like your first bike, your learning bike, you know, like a Rebel 250, or hell, even a used 300 or 500 like mine. I mean, mine wasn't used, mine was new because it was my second bike. But even getting, like, these are fantastic learning bikes. I love it more than just a learning bike, which is why I'm still riding it and I still have it. But also at the same time, it's got a pretty decent list of shortcomings. I've let a lot of people hop on this and go for a ride, and their biggest complaint is they feel super scrunched up, they feel squished, they feel like they don't have room to really spread out and ride like they want to. But a lot of these guys are also coming off of large cruisers, and some of them are even coming off of baggers to try this out. And that's fine. That doesn't upset me, because it's all information and data to pull in and use as a resource to know what I want next and to know what I want to look for in my next motorcycle. But, you know, even with that long list of issues that other people have mentioned, I've had as many, if not more, say it's a fun little ripper. It would be a great small second bike to have for in town. You know, this was something that they would have loved to have had when they first started riding, and it's gotten more positive energy and feedback from people that I've let look at it and take it for a little rip around campsite, or I've even let a couple of people take it out on the road, and they loved it. I love it, so I'm glad they loved it. But I'm also at a point now where I want to start touring on a bike, and this will do it. It will not do it happily. I'll be in some pain because it's not set up to do that kind of stuff, but it will do it if you tell it to. It might protest, but it will do it. And, you know, it's having the right bike for the right thing is a lot more fun, but having the wrong bike and using it for something like touring gives you a lot more interest. So, you know, I've talked with a couple of guys often, or a couple of guys, I've talked to a lot of people at this point who, when I tell them that I've done now 2 iron butts on this, one I've documented, one undocumented, they just look at me like I'm absolutely insane. because, you know, this thing on the interstate, I have to stop about every 80, 85-ish miles to fill up the tank. So, and every gas stop is at least 8 to 10 minutes, roughly, at least. So, you know, 6 gas stops, that's an hour. That's an extra hour onto the trip. So both of my iron butts were somewhere between 20 and 22 hours. In part because of the number of gas stops I had to make, and the number of times I got behind accidents and stuff, and dead stops in traffic, and had to take like a detour or something else like that. And, you know, I didn't research, you know, good ideas and things that would help me for an iron butt. I just kind of went for it. And I learned a few things on my own, but now I'm also aware, if I want to keep doing iron butts, I need to do some research. We made it. Woo!
Hey guys, I forgot to pull the camera out and start recording again after I ended my ride with my friends, but the sun was setting, it was getting dark, and it got dark quick. When the sun was finally set, temperature dropped with it, but we made it home. We had a fantastic time, and me and those friends are kind of making some plans for end of summer 2023. I'm gonna keep that a secret for now. I'll catch you all later on the next one.